Pastor Maria and Pastor Nate and everybody else. I'm always so excited to be with my brothers and sisters in Christ. For together in Christ, we can achieve a lot more.
Amen.
Yes, I am just so 100%. I am persuaded. I'll use the Bible terms that we have so much more in us. We have so much more than we currently use or tap into or portray. We have the science is showing that we probably just maybe use 10 to 15% of our God-given potential. There's a lot more that all of us can be doing in different areas. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a doctor or a lawyer or an architect or whatever. Not that at all. You could be the mother and be an awesome mother and do it well. You can be a preacher and do it really well. You can be the person who is I don't know, anything that you can think about. Be the farmer and do it fantastically. Last week I shared a story which the pastor knew, the lady that I shared the story about. But let's start. So I'm just going to
actually I invited her, so I was expecting her to join today.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe she will turn up.
Maybe she will, yes.
Maybe she will turn up a bit later. So I just this Bible verse that you all know. So my dear friend or beloved, I pray that you are all doing well, or you are all prospering in every way, in all respects, that your health is good, just as your soul is doing well. And I've used the expanded Bible version, that you prosper even as your soul. Yeah, that's well. And that's 3 John 2:2. So for those of you who do, I don't know, I think you all know me. My name is Evelyn Tawiah. I tend not to use the doctor too much. It's a qualification. I'm also a nurse. Nobody calls me Nurse Tawiah. So I know, people, doctor is nice. But I was a nurse I was a nurse 15, and that's also another story, 15, 20 years before I went to med school at a very old age and became a doctor. So that's another story. But today, I want us to continue with what we started last week. And I remember, I think, Brother Moses, GW, I can't remember your full name, but you were the one who was asking what is self-development.
It was Joseph, Brother Joseph.
It was Brother Joseph.
Brother Joseph. Yeah. Joseph is not on yet.
He might join, yeah.
Okay. He was the one that, was asking what self-development is. And I will say to you, if you feel that you've reached your full potential, if you feel that you are great at communicating with your family, your friends, on your job, if you feel that your health is where it ought to be, your weight is where it ought to be, if you feel that your worship, your service to God is where it ought to be, if you feel that you are tithing properly, like it ought to be, if you feel that your relationship with your mom, your dad, your husband, your wife, it's where it ought to be, then maybe self-development is not for you. But if you feel that there's still a bit more I can do in my area of my job, or we talked a bit about your area of your calling or your passion, or this, I'd want to be, get better at reading and writing English, or I want to be good at mathematics, or I didn't get a chance to finish my education properly, I want to do that, or I've always wanted to have a degree, I want to do that. Or do you understand, if there's still something that you've got to be doing, you haven't been doing, then you need to grow, you need personal growth and personal development. And that's why we do what we do. So I am a qualified, certified leadership and personal coach. And as part of that, I do training such as this and teaching and one-on-one coaching. So last week, quite a few of us were on. Who can tell me 1 or 2 things they learned before I do my summary? 1 or 2 things they took away, or even if somebody's done something that based on what I had last week, I went and this is what I did. If anybody's got any story like that, I want to listen, please, and share it with the whole group, because together we are all learning, we are all developing, we are all moving together. Anybody?
Feel free to unmute yourself and speak.
Anything that you learned. And remember, there's no right or wrong answer. It's your contributions, because you would have understood it in a different way. That might even enlighten us all.
let me start because we're a very shy group. So let me start.
Oh, thank you very much, Sister Maria.
The most shyest person. I think I like the part where you said that even out of our pains,
yes,
the pains and mistakes,
yes,
that we can learn out of it. You
yes.
know, that area was, I think we all experience hardships in our lives,
yes,
but that we should use that to learn something out of it.
Yes,
to improve.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much.
Mm.
Anybody else wants to say anything, add or subtract?
The rubber band.
The rubber band, yeah.
Use the rubber band.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good one too.
Yes, yes. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. So just to summarize, that we've got the two laws that we discussed last week. The law of pain, our difficulties, our challenges, the decisions that we made that probably weren't too correct, the sort of things that we said that weren't right, or we've done the wrong things, being in the wrong places. And believe you me, guys, I have made some big mistakes. I have made some. I'll put my hand up. I'm not going to sit here and think I was the most perfect ever. Because I'm telling you, I was a nurse first before I became a doctor. There's a whole story behind that. And there was a big mistakes I made in my life before I finally straightened up. Do you understand? So I have made my mistakes. And I will not stand here and say everything I do now is perfect. Do you understand? So mistakes, whether we like it or not, we will have some mistakes. We can be leading our lives the best way we can. Somebody else might do something that will affect us. So the lesson is, let's not waste mistakes. Let's not waste the experiences. When they happen, you step back, look at what happened, and ask yourself the questions. What happened? Why did it happen? Could I have done this better? What do I need to know? To know. Do I need to bring other people on? Do I need to ask, other people's help? And try again. This is what the successful people do. As we speak now, I'll tell you a little story. Most of you will know about Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Richard Branson. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you, got access, those of you in the UK and maybe in Amsterdam, you've got access, you can get to the library or buy it on Amazon. You can buy his book and read. And he will tell you the mistakes he made in the beginning. Big ones. Big ones. But every time he made a mistake, he learned from his mistake and then tried again. Every time he made a mistake, he learned and tried again. Today, look at where it is. Now they told that Virgin is in trouble because of the pandemic. But I bet you and I, when the pandemic is over, Virgin will be on top again. He will find ways around it and make it even better. This is what entrepreneurs do, or this is what people who are willing to make mistakes, learn from their mistakes, and then move on. This is how we get better. But if you're afraid, oh, I can't do it. Oh, what if I lose money? Oh, I don't know how many, guys there are here. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to lose money, or what my friends going to say, or what are my, parents going to say, or what are my mates going to say. Nothing happens. You're always worried. You're always afraid. Nothing happens. And you will see other people moving. You might think, oh, but this person, we were in the same, class together, or when they say, but how come she's doing well? Because you have not done anything. You've not taken any action. You've not developed yourself. You've not surrounded yourself with the right people. You understand? You don't have ideas. You're just where you are. So that's the bit about failure and making mistakes. That you make a mistake, don't waste it. Don't waste a good experience. Use it. So that's the first one. And then the second one is about the law of the rubber band, that you need to expand, you need to grow, you need to challenge yourself to be able to get better. So that's a summary of what we did. But what I can offer you is, I am making a recording, which I'm happy to give to all of you. But what you've got to do is just send me your email addresses. Whoever wants it, just send me your email address on WhatsApp. And when I do that recording, probably tomorrow, Thursday or Friday, as soon as I've done that recording, I'll send it out so people have got a recording of what we did last week. Yes? Will that be okay with everybody?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right. So this is being recorded. So I'm going to share my screen now. And I've spent the weekend trying to get some slides together. Where are we? That's it, okay. So today, I'm going to be talking about...
It off.
Okay, show you here.
Sorry, but I can't seem to see can't find my cursor. So okay, right. Okay, so can everybody see the screen?
Yes, it's showing. Yes.
Right. Okay. So now, why personal growth, personal development? Now, people are anxious, and most people are anxious to improve their circumstances, but many are unwilling to improve themselves. Therefore, we remain bound. Therefore, we remain stuck. You see that I really should be doing this, or I could do that, but you're not. People are not willing to learn, to go and learn, or to go and find out what it is they need to get them to go where they want to be. And believe you me, it's not just this is this is an issue that is worldwide. You will find it in the UK, you find it in the US, Europe, Ghana, wherever. People just want a different way of life. But for some reason, people don't do what it is that they need to do. And so, you will ask the question, why is it that people know that they've got to do something, or they feel underachieved, or they are unhappy in their jobs, or they haven't found their passion, and they're doing things that they're not really happy about, but they're not doing anything about it? Why are people not growing? Why are people not stretching? Why are people not developing? Why are people not meeting the next challenge? Now, one of the reasons, and I think it probably is the number one reason, is the assumption gap, that people assume that because you grow, you physically you grow, you get up, you have your meal, and you grow. So you see children grow up naturally. We expect that we will grow into our challenges, or we will grow into our difficulties, or we will grow into our passion, or we'll grow into our jobs or our careers or our businesses naturally. But for some people, it can happen like that. But most people, it's not like that at all. You cannot assume that, because you want something, that, it's got to come into your laps and that you're going to be successful no matter what. No, it doesn't happen like that. If it happens like that, loads of us will be doing the kind of things we're doing and enjoying the kind of life we really want. It's not like that at all. Now, the second one, which again, I can see how it is people just don't know. Basically, okay, Ghana, Africa, we are encouraged to get an education and then maybe get a career, be a doctor, lawyer, and whatever, which is fine. I know, especially in the UK, so many lawyers, so many doctors, I can talk for doctors, who are doing the job because their parents push them to do it, to go and be a doctor, and they get there and they're very, very unhappy. I know that. Maybe not in Ghana, but here there's a lot. In fact, probably in Ghana it happens as well. And so, but then for lots of other people, they remain unfulfilled, but they're not aware. They really don't know how to, do it. And for example, if I ask people here, people have New Year resolutions. Come December, they're thinking, oh, New Year resolutions. But when I ask people, how many of you, and I'm asking you, how many of you have got goals that you've written down that you want to work on and to achieve it? Maybe goals in your area of your giving, tithes or giving to other people, or goals in the area of evangelism, or goals in the area of your job, or goals in the area of your finances. How many of you have got something written down that you can go back and say, in 6 months' time, I want to be able to have saved this amount of money because I want to be able to start this business, or in 6 months' time, I should have, started the college that I wanted to do, or in 6 months' time, I want to start the business that it is that, is on my heart, or whatever. How many of you have got, goals written down? not, you know, so far as I know, people have resolutions and maybe I know I've got to do this, but nobody's got it written down. Again, I do have courses to help people, you know, sit down, write goals for themselves. It's something that we can do later on. Now, the timing gap, people say it's not the right time for me. Oh, I'm a mom, I've got young children, I want them to go to school first before maybe I learn to do this, that, and the other. Or I'm a dad, I don't have the time. Or I'm this, there's always one reason or the other why people can't do what they ought to do to better themselves, for their family, for their friends, for the church, and for the community. And then, you know, and the mistake gap, we've talked about it yesterday, you know, and our last, you know, about failure, afraid that you're going to make a mistake. What if you fail? And that stops a lot of people, lots of people, including me, from doing what they really know they've got to be doing. Now, the perfection gap. I've got a daughter. My first daughter is a guitarist. She plays the guitar very well. When she plays it, everybody goes, wow, this is really good. But my Shirley will never share her music because she's saying it's never perfect. I'm saying, whatever you produce, whatever it is, whether it's the clothes you make, the book you want to write, the song on your heart you want to publish, just produce it and, you know, put it out there and see what people say. If it's this music you want, put it out, pass it on to friends. What do people think? Just put it out there. Do whatever it is. Don't wait for it to be perfect, and then people can give you feedback. So, for example, I'm happy for all of you to give me feedback on what I'm doing now, to say, oh, the slides are not good, or they are good, or you speak too fast, or maybe this is not relevant. Can you change it and do it this way? Or do you understand? So you know, so that you are not waiting for that perfect product, but you've got something, put it out there and wait for some feedback to make it better. Now, the inspiration gap is one of the, especially for us Christians, you're waiting for the Holy Spirit to maybe waft you off, or to wake you up, or to do whatever. Or I don't feel like doing it. I want somebody to motivate me. You understand? And because of that, you know you're supposed to be doing something, it never happens. And you lose out. Because you could be great. You never know what you could be great at. But because you haven't taken action, it hasn't happened for you. And the comparison gap, I think we touched a bit on this the last time, that others are better than me, or other people can do it better, or why not her, why me? No. Your calling and your giftings are for you in particular. It's not for somebody else. It's not for your brother or sister or your friend. It's your giftings, it's your calling, it's your talent. You develop it, because that's how you're going to be blessed. That's how you're going to bless your family. That's how you're going to bless your church. That's how you're going to bless your community. God is counting on you. He's giving you a potential, and it's up to you to use that potential. The expectation gap. Again, this is one of the big ones. You start doing something and you meet a little hurdle or a little problem, a little barrier, and whatever. And then you start saying, oh, everybody's doing it. Or when I started it, look at this and look at that, and you give up easily. If you give up easily, you are losing out on your blessings, on your potential, on your giftings and your abilities. You've got to stick around. Okay. So again, I want to bust a myth here about luck. People think that successful people are lucky. Oh, if you're lucky, I'm a gun. Now, for people who don't understand it, oh, if you're lucky, so this person has been very lucky. If you look at it carefully, if you look at it very, very carefully, only very few people are lucky. Very few. Very few. All the big people that you know of, all the prosperous ones, the people that have made it, the people who are doing the kind of things that you want to do, approach them and ask them how they got there. And they'll tell you the challenges. They'll tell you the difficulties. They'll tell you the preparation that they've had to make. They'll tell you the sacrifices that they have to make. So you cannot change your destination overnight. So you know you need something. You know you've got to go somewhere, but you can change your direction overnight. You're going in one direction, But you know that this is what I really want. Okay, I am in a university, I'm doing this course, but really this is what I want to do. Begin to plan. Finish your university if you like, but begin to plan towards what it is that you want to do. And if I'm speaking to youth here particularly, and especially if I don't know how many are in the UK, you know, the people listening here are in the West world, and I don't know how many of you are in Ghana, but especially people in Ghana who are waiting for jobs, who are waiting for other people, you know, they've got applications and CV and they're taking it here and they're taking it there. You're waiting for non-existent jobs. I just want to tell you, begin to see where your passion is, where your giftings are, where your hobbies are, where you do something good, and see if you can develop that. So we're not waiting for a job somewhere. If you want to reach your goals and fulfill your potential, become intentional about your personal growth. Be very, very intentional. It will change your life. Don't assume that I'll be lucky. Don't assume that my sister will come and take me to Amsterdam. Don't assume that you've got, you know, my mom was really wicked. She didn't take me to the US. Therefore, I haven't reached anywhere in life. As children of God, that really shouldn't even be part of our vocabulary. It really shouldn't be part of our vocabulary at all. Okay. Now, I'm busting the myth again. Your preparation, yes, your personal growth and development, you're getting ready, you're being diligent, you're being committed, you're being focused, plus your attitude, a can-do attitude. No matter how difficult it is, you would want to find a solution. You want to find a way around it. You want to ask people, you want to read around the subject, you want to go on the internet, you want to go to YouTube, you want to read books, your attitude, plus an opportunity. I agree, luck comes in plus an opportunity, and you taking action. This is what luck is about. So that you'll find out people who are achieving, people who are going places, are people who are doing all these things. Even the footballers or the musicians or the dancers, they will tell you how many hours of practice they put in. They will tell you how many hours of practice they put in. They will tell you the kind of things that we do that they don't. The hours they wake up early in the morning training, what they can eat and what they can't eat, what they can smoke and what they can't smoke, where they can go and where they can't go. They are doing what, so they are preparing all the time. They are acting all the time. And this is how they become successful. And I challenge all of us here now, whatever it is we want to do. And I want you all to be thinking, if whatever thing, your job you're doing now is where you want to be, that's fine. If whatever station you are, that's where you want to be, that's fine. But if it is not, if you're thinking that really I ought to be doing a bit more, I ought to be shining a bit more, I am a leader, my people are counting on me, then I challenge you to begin to look at your life and be intentional and begin to prepare yourself through your personal development and begin to take action. Where you are lacking, where you're having the challenges, where people are telling you, maybe you can do it this way, because occasionally friends and family tell us. They might not tell us in a nice way. You might think maybe they're criticizing you on this, oh, they're complaining too much or whatever. But honestly, take a step back and see if people are complaining about, if one person is complaining, it could be wrong. If 3 or 4 people are complaining, saying the same thing about you, maybe it'll be the time to listen and say, what are these people saying? Could it be something that I could be changing to improve me? Because until I change, until you change, nothing will change. Nothing will change until we make the change. So success is neither magical nor mysterious. It is not a few people out there, 5%, because we do know with statistics and all the research they've done that only 5%. So how can I put this to make it simple? 5% of the world population will be self-sufficient. 95% are people who will be broke, who will be struggling. That is the statistic. 95% of people will get to retirement, very broke, not enough money, maybe poor health, no relationship with their families, whatever. Because we've lived our lives like everybody else. We have not bothered to look at these areas and develop them and make sure that we have a slightly different outcome. Now we see all those rich people out there, and then we see ourselves and we think, gosh, how did they make it? And we see a big gap between ourselves and the people who are making it. I want to challenge all of you that all of us can make it. All of us can make it. So it's not a big gap that they are lucky and they were born in the right place, and because they went to Legon or they went to Cambridge or whatever it is that you feel is, and I didn't go, there's a big gap, and because of that, I'll always be struggling and I'll never make it. It's not like that. Because I know people who've gone to Cambridge and they're suffering. And you and I know people who didn't go to Cambridge, who didn't go to Legon, who didn't even go to secondary school and are doing very well. So we have to ask ourselves, success for you and I in whatever area, we should see it as an upward journey, little by little, going up. You might fail a bit, you might lose a bit, but every time you're going up and up and up. Because if you do something good and you do it consistently without looking back, you will make it. You will get there. So I want you to think about success, that it's available for all of us, not just for the few, and then everybody else is looking at the few enjoy their lives. That all of us can do it, but we have to take action. Okay, now, this is one of the equations that I love the most. One of the books, because I am actually trained with two different organizations in the US. The second company, the guy there is called Jack Canfield, and he talks, and he's like a success guru. He's got books, he's got companies, he's got everything. And he talks about taking 100, and it's not just him, but he emphasizes on us taking 100% responsibility for everything we do. Everything we do. As Christians, God is number one. After God, we take 100% responsibility. Now, this equation is by a psychiatrist in California. He's called Dr. Resnick. And it says E plus R is equal to O. So E is the event, and your response to that event will determine the outcome. So if you are, for example, you're broke all the time, that is an event, okay? You're broke all the time, that's an event. Or the government that is in power, or which part of the world you live in, or your boss, or your wife that you don't get on well with, or your family you don't get well with. All those are events. They are things that are outside your control. Some of them might be, but a lot are outside your control. The weather, the climate, COVID, it's an event that is outside your control. But your response to that event, because you realize that, for example, okay, I'll take it again. Let's say that we all live in Ghana. And none of us like the government that is in power. The government is an event. We can't do anything about it. But you realize that some people are doing well and some people aren't doing well because they've responded, depending on how you respond. So if I came in one day, I met you, Joseph, on the street. I don't know you, but I called you and I said, Joseph, you're a stupid man. That's an event. Your reaction to the event will determine the outcome. If I said, Joseph, you're a stupid man, you can look at me and say, oh, this person I don't even know is calling me a stupid man. Go away, you're mad, you go. That's your outcome. That's your response. Your outcome. You've responded. You've dismissed that whatever it is that I said from you. So your outcome, you are positive. You're going there. You're not hurt. You're not upset. But same Joseph, I could have said, Joseph, you are a silly man. And then you can look at it. You don't even know me, but you take it to heart and you're really upset. So then your outcome, you're down. You say, I met somebody in town. He doesn't even know me. He called me a mad person, and I'm so sad. Same event. One person will say, oh, that person, I don't know hers. Whatever I said, I don't care. But somebody else will take it to heart and pull a long face. Our response to whatever is happening in the environment is our responsibility. Whatever your boss says to you, what your spouse says to you, whoever is in government, whether you had the education that you wanted or not, whether you were able to go to the UK or not, those are events. You might not have any control over them, but your response to it that, okay, I wasn't able to get to, go to the secondary school that I wanted or do the course that I wanted. But what can I do? God has given me my 10 hands and my brain and my head. What can I do? Your response to the event will determine your outcome. And we've got control over our responses. I'll give another example. And since COVID, when COVID started, I was working in London. I'm not in London at the moment. I was working in London. Just like now, I was working in a hospital in London. And we were telling people should be very conscious about how much they listen of all the figures that the government is spewing out. 10,000 people have died, 20,000 people. And I kept on saying to people, don't listen to what the government is saying. Don't listen to the news and wherever, because your response to that news that is on there, being pumped out there all the time, will determine your outcome. Consequently, people are depressed, people are anxious, people are worried, people are whatever. Some people are listening and thinking, it's out there, there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to go about my life and live the best way I can. Other people are very depressed, very, very anxious. We're seeing them in hospital now, all the depression and the anxiety and stuff like that, because we've dwelt on the negative news. So our response is always very important to whatever it is, even if somebody love and who love dearly, but say something to you that really should hurt you. Take that, what that person says, and say, that is an event. I choose to be positive about what you've said. I'm not going to be hurt. I'm not going to be angry. I'll continue to love you. Your outcome will be better. You decide what happens when things don't go the way they ought to go. You decide how you're going to react to that. My encouragement will be to choose to react positively to whatever it is that comes the way, because that's how you will be more cheerful, you'll be much happier, you'll be more successful if you take 100% responsibility. Now, there's 3 things that get in the way of people taking 100% responsibility. And I've mentioned some of this. Blame. First one is blame. That you always, if we never take responsibility for difficulties and challenges and problems, we're always blaming somebody else. We become victims. We take power away from our hands. We take authority away from our hands. We are blaming somebody else. We're complaining. There's people who are complaining at home about what's happening on the job. And then when they get to the job, they're complaining about what's happening in the home. And then wherever they go, they are always complaining. Technically, if you're complaining, it means that there's something better that could be out there, and that's why you're complaining. So if you don't like what is going on, you take the responsibility to change it. If you're going to a job that you're not happy in, find out how you can make the job better, or find something else to do. But do not complain, because the more you do it, the more energy it saps from you, the more it takes power away from you to be able to do other things. And then we give excuses. Excuses. And it is the economy. And Ghana is hard. And the UK is now hard. And we don't have the money. And there's COVID. And believe you me, I will never say none of these things aren't there. There are challenges. But if you look carefully, there's people doing well, even with the challenges. So if some people are doing well, let's ask ourselves, what can we do? What can I do? How can I think creatively? How can I think around it? How can we think through it to make a difference? Because guys, ladies and gentlemen, when we begin to take full responsibility for situations that happen, we want to make a change, our lives will change. It will, and people will wonder how. Only because you decided, I'm not going to blame, I'm not going to make excuses, whatever it is, I'll work around it. If it's your school and you're gone, and I know secondary schools, no teachers. I know that. But if you've got the books, you come and do the work. You find a study group. Do you understand? You do something that will set you apart. Don't go with the majority. Set yourself apart and do your work. Because if we become successful, if we attain our full potential, that is how God is glorified in our lives. That is how we're going to see God's manifestation in our lives. We doing what it is that God has put on our hearts. And I don't know whether my friend Afis jumped on board, but I'll forever give an example. Something you're passionate about, that you're doing and you're doing well. People will stand and look. This is the responsibility, and this is how we get, you know, God is seen in our lives. So I've asked you all to bring in some, you know, some writing material. I don't want this to just be a talk shop or motivational speech. I want us all to begin to take little steps. I'm not asking you to do huge, big things, but take little steps in the direction of where you want to go. Little steps towards your goal, little step towards what it is you want to do. I would say, and we've got a whole course that we do on helping people to find their passion and to develop their passion. It's a whole series that I do as well. And I'll make it available if people want that is separate from that. And we can talk, you know, one-on-one about that and how I can make that happen. But you find what it is that you really want to do. Some people know, some people don't. If you don't know it, it's not a problem. Just go out there and do something. And I'll tell you a typical example. When I started doing all this, you know, talking to people, doing the teaching and trainings, there's some aspects of what I'm doing that I thought that's what I wanted to do. Until I started doing it, and I'm thinking, really, this aspect of my role, I don't really like, I don't really enjoy, but I had to do it first to realize that that's not what I want to do. So do something, even if it's the wrong thing, it's okay. So then you know that, oh, me, making clothes is not me. I'm not going to do that. But maybe I'll be the one that will be into childcare. That's what I love. Oh no, I can't handle children. It's not really what I want to do. I want to do, you know, all I dream about is making those beautiful cakes. Start somewhere. Go and do some apprenticeship. Do some online, do some courses, but start somewhere. But I want people to start something. So action step, what gaps or excuses or blaming or complaining is currently stopping you from growing and being the best that you can be? So I want you all, if you've got your phones or whatever, you can take pictures, you can click the questions, because I want you all to go and think about it. What are the gaps in your knowledge? What, you know, where are the gaps? What are the excuses? What is it that you know, where are you putting the blame? And then what can you do today to start growing and moving towards the life of your dreams? What is it that it is that you want to do? Do you feel you want to, you know, develop yourself a bit more? Do you feel you need a bit more, you know, a bit more information? Do you feel, I don't know, you know, that you know what you want to do, you just need to go and do it? I want you to start something and start now, not tomorrow, not next year. When you look on the calendar, there's nothing like tomorrow. Start something, starting now. Even if it means sitting down, taking some pen and paper and writing down, this is what I want to do. This is my vision. This is what God has been putting on my heart all this time. Or I'm in a job, I know I can do it better. I know we can do it. Do you understand? Just start jotting things down, because the more you write and the more you think about it, the more ideas you get. And as Nike will say, just do it. No ifs and whens and buts. Do it. Get it wrong. Learn from it and do it. Fail and fail fast. Fail a lot more. And apparently that's what entrepreneurs, people who are out there doing, they fail a lot. They fail fast, because the faster you fail, the quicker you learn, and then you move on. Fail and fail fast. So I think this is my last slide. Yes. I don't know how long I've been talking. I thought I was going to time myself, but I haven't. I'd like to thank you. This is a time, if people have got questions, you can unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat. And then I am, like I'm saying, I'm available for mentorship, for coaching, and for training that I've got in, you know, various other areas, on one-on-one mentoring and coaching, teaching, and training in different areas. And I'm available for people to contact me directly. But I've offered to give you the recording from like what we did last week. So I'll, you know, anybody who wants that, send me the email. So if there's any questions, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I think I said one more slide. You can follow me on YouTube. I've got some short clips on YouTube, and it's on Dr. Evelyn Tawiah. You can follow me there. On Facebook, Evelyn Tawiah, because I've got 2 or 3 cousins with the exact same name. So if you look at the profile and you see a doctor here, doctor there, and that's me. Or you can go to Dr. Evelyn Tawiah. You can follow me there as well. You can send me messages there on my Facebook Messenger. You can do that. So I think that's it. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And then, yes, are there any questions, any additions, any subtractions, anything anybody wants to clarify? This is your time.
Anybody else, if you've got a question, you want something to say, please feel free, go ahead. Thank you very much, Dr. Evelyn Tawiah. Thank you for availing yourself. And I can see few friends around.
You've got no questions?
I think this was so deep. It's not about the questions. It's about starting it. You know,
yes.
It's about
putting the action plan.
Yeah, the action plan, exactly. Yeah. You know.
Yes.
Anybody?
Okay. Pastor, can you give me a bit of a background about the people here? Are there people based in Ghana? People based in the UK?
We have few in Ghana. The rest are in UK.
Okay.
There's a lady on Wilhelmina went to the same school with you.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can say Wilhelmina.
Yes, my maiden name was Sokpoti. So I best you remember me. Minokpoti.
What? Minokpoti, yes. Oh, yes.
How are you, Evelyn?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, you too.
Great. So, what are you in Ghana or are you in the
No,
UK?
I'm in the
London.
UK. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
right. Okay.
Pastor Marlon is my brother-in-law, sort of, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
My husband's cousin.
Nice. Okay. Great.
Her husband is my cousin. We've known each other for many years. I mean, I've known Mina right even before they got married.
Yeah.
So we're very close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Great. Okay.
But that was
Anybody
very
else?
motivational. I think your presentation was very motivational. So we'll take it on board. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Very good. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe to the action plan or whatever plan you mentioned.
Yes.
What do you advise? How far ahead should one plan? Sometimes I think the fear of planning and then failing can be very discouraging when you set yourself plans and then you know, of course you try, but then you're afraid to see that it's not working. It's it's painful somehow.
Yes, and I think it all ties into we being afraid of failure. I think it all ties into that. We are all afraid that we would fail, and it's because of that it stops us doing things. So it will boil down to the fact that let us redefine failure. Let's redefine how we see failure. Even if we try and it doesn't work, it's okay. It's better than not trying at all.
That's true.
Yes, so I mean, certainly we can do some goal setting workshops. We can do that. So we can, people can learn to set goals in different areas. But to be, off the block, people can think of areas where they want to. So, for example, healthier, wealthier, happier. These are 3 areas that people really want to work on. You want to be healthier, you want to be happier, you want to be healthier, happier. Healthier, happier.
The third one.
Wealthier, happier, healthier.
Exactly. Yeah.
So those are 3 areas that people can even begin to set goals.
Yeah.
Set goals and just take a little step. So, for example, when it comes to wealth, I do love talking about money, and that's a different story altogether. And it's not just
Everybody loves money.
Yeah, we all need it.
Yeah. That's why I've left my family in London. I'm sitting in somebody else's country. Yeah. So for example, I talk a lot about multiple streams of income. For example, that I don't depend on my doctor job. It is nice, but all of us should have other ways to make money. So if my doctor job goes away, something else brings money. Something else brings in money. So, and all these people can learn the strategies, to begin to get income from different places. So people can set goals in those areas. We can talk about that. Or people can begin to learn to, save a bit more money. People can begin to learn to maybe get out of debt if they're already in debt, because a lot of us are in, like, maybe credit cards, student loan, this loan, that loan, and at the end of the month, you have to pay your tithe, but you don't get any money left.
Yeah.
People can begin to set goals to begin to, to get into that area, to begin to work themselves out of debt and begin to build wealth. We can talk about that. So you can set goals in your money area. You can set goals in your health. You might feel that, maybe the blood sugar is a bit too high, or the blood pressure is a bit too high, which is some of the things that affect a lot of my people. Blood pressure, you can do things about it without necessarily seeing the doctor. So for example, you might decide, and it's not an easy one, but you can do that, you'll do YouTube videos and do some dancing maybe 3 times a week in your room. You don't have to go to the gym. You can do some of these things. Just like they're not big goals. You might do it once a week. You're feeling good about it, then twice a week. You're feeling good about it 3 times a week. So you set small goals, but in the direction of where you want to go. Yes. Yeah. And then maybe even have accountability part. We teach on that as well. Accountability part is somebody who will hold you responsible. So if you say this week I'm going to do it 3 times a week, I'm just going to put on YouTube and just dance. They do it, because there are some good Christian keep fit videos that people can dance to lose a bit of weight. People can do that. So and then
so this one goes to some of us, the elderly.
Yes.
I've got some young ones in our midst, and then I want them to talk as well.
It would be nice. It would be nice to hear from
the young ones.
Yes.
The Calebs, the Tabithas, the Moses, the young ones that are here with me.
It'll be great. It'll be great because tomorrow, the group.
So the keep fit. Some of us, we need to really have a regular exercise to be able to keep fit.
It affects the young ones too. They need to, now that they're all in one place.
Yes.
Their studies.
Yes. I mean, the lockdown was a time lots of people put on weight in the lockdown. Lots of people did, because when you feel a bit low, or there's nothing happening, you've watched your Netflix or whatever it is, half an hour, go to YouTube and put in maybe dance videos, your gospel dance workouts or whatever.
Yeah.
Choose one that you like and just do it.
Step by step. Yeah.
Yes. Just something very little in that, even if it's not half an hour, even if it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Or and then you're looking at your food. You're thinking, maybe I need to reduce the portion. Don't do it all boom. Just do a little bit, a little bit at a time, so that you're not overwhelmed. We can do little, but in the direction of where we want to go. And that's how we're gonna. And losing a bit of the weight, cutting out, will help with the blood pressure. So easy, without medication.
Wow. Yeah.
Will help so much. Keeping fit. We are allowed to go for walks in the lockdown. Going for walks is so good for the mood. It really, really is. Ghana maybe it's not too, but people who live in the UK and stuff like that can go for walks. Really very good.
Yeah.
Very good to lift up your mood. Good to look, check the weight. Good to know the local area as well. So, we can do all that, without a gym, without, seeing a doctor or anything like that. Because remember, if you're healthier, you can do a lot more. If you're always sick, you are limited into what you can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So who can say that you've learned something out of this today?
Yes.
I can.
Yes.
Okay,
Wow.
go on, Nina. Tell us. Give us a summary.
Okay, tell us what you learned, Lady Nina.
I didn't join you from the beginning. I joined in at least, I think, an hour into the presentation.
Okay.
But at least the bit that I heard about the complaining and making excuses.
Yes.
Because sometimes we do that and then we procrastinate a lot. That, oh, I'm going to do it later, and
Yes.
it's because of I didn't go to the right school. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I haven't got enough support and all that.
Yes.
So if we stop complaining and just do it, then we'll get it done. At least we can start from somewhere. So that's what I've learned from it.
Yes.
That just doing it and starting from somewhere, finding out where you can start from. At least that's the foundation, that baby step.
Yeah.
And then you can move forward. Yeah.
That's a great contribution.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Yeah.
That's great.
Because in the lockdown, you can easily, sort of be laid back.
Yes.
Thinking that, okay, I'm waiting for the lockdown to finish. But within the lockdown, you can do stuff.
It's honestly, the lockdown is an amazing opportunity to learn new things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing opportunity to learn new things, start new things, this lockdown. And then so to ensure that you'll come out of the lockdown better than you went in.
Exactly.
You can do that. All of us can do that.
Yeah.
Learn something new, anything, I don't know, a new language, learn how to sew, learn to write, I don't know, that music, learn a language, learn an instrument. Do you understand? The lockdown is a great opportunity. It really, really is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I feel motivated, and even reading the Bible a bit more as well, because we do read it, but we always say we haven't got time.
Yes. Yes.
Find the time to focus. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Very true.
So the lockdown has got its good bits, and let's use those good bits.
Yeah.
Use it. Yes. Okay.
So everybody should say something. Abigail is on from Belgium. Moses from Austria. The rest, and then my Ghana folks are here with me. Then the rest are in UK.
Okay, Brother Joseph too has joined.
Brother Joseph, you joined late, but at least you are on.
Yes.
Any question? Caleb, any question?
No questions.
Any contributions? What have you learned, Caleb? Since you don't have any questions, we can ask you. What one thing have you learned?
Yeah.
I came late as the same as before, but I learned that what the hell?
Are you talking? We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, go
on. I learned that you can find time to do what you need to do. So like you shouldn't make up excuses, etc.
Okay.
Making excuses.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good.
Yes, that's good. Anybody else wants to?
Brother Joseph, you have any question today? Anybody else? Hey, Professor Dino.
Well, actually, I didn't have much question, but because she dealt with the topic well, and I quite understood what she was saying.
Okay.
Very good.
She was talking about the goal settings. How we can set our goals. I found very interesting.
That's good.
Goal setting. How we should set our goals when, for us to achieve our goals. That's very important for us also.
That's good. Thank you for your contribution.
It's quite educative, actually.
Wonderful. It actually is. And Dino, you were going to say something?
Oh no, I was just listening in, but on the subject of goal setting, traditionally something that when some of us think of, well, some of the people that I know, and including myself, I've always viewed it as an insurmountable thing, something that oh my God, I have to sit down and it has to be a big thing, and it's goals that we at times I say to some of my friends, let's not set ourselves up for failure before we even start. So let's take it one step at a time, and there's some sort of anxiety linked to it as well, to a certain extent, depending on where you're coming from. So I totally understand. I was even talking to some of my peers on Zoom yesterday just to catch up, and that's one thing that came up. That once we come out of this lockdown, we're not going to live our lives the same anymore. We have to plan better, and we have to throw ourselves at something that that means a lot more to us than the everyday 9 to 5. Some want to give more, some want to pay more attention to their faith, and so forth. It's such an interesting comments that they came up with. Yeah.
Wow.
So it all starts with
Very
setting
good.
it all starts with setting those goals and taking it one step at a time.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Dino.
Nice.
Anybody else? My young man here with me, Kobe. What are you going to say?
I also learned today that there is no tomorrow in the calendar. So if you have something to do, so far as there's time, you need to get to it and then work on it.
Yeah.
So you don't postpone your assignments or
no procrastination.
No procrastination. You need to get to it and then do it. So far as there's time, now. You don't need to. You do it now and not later.
Wow, powerful.
And then we learned about the ER is equal to O.
Yes.
Events
and then
plus your responsibility gives you the outcome.
Event plus response, your response gives you the outcome.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, that's good. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Lady Donna?
Thank you very much. I think that's a very good thing you are doing. I think by setting goals, you can actually gain your success at the end, which in terms, like everybody else did, including myself as well. So,
sorry, Donna, I didn't get what you said.
I said thank you very much for coming on with this topic. I think it's very good when you set your goals that you will get success like everybody else does, and like including myself.
Wow. It's very good. It's true. Very encouraging.
Thank you, Donna. Yeah, you set your goals and then you take and you get results.
Yes.
Amen.
Abigail, you are in Belgium. What have you got to say?
Yeah, but my own is it's like a question I just want to ask.
Yeah.
I'm just putting like the way I do things around. I just want to ask whether it's a good thing to be done. Like I'm the type that normally when I want to do something, I want to plan towards it. If about money issue, I want to save towards what I want to do before I take a step. I just want to know whether it's a good thing to be doing, like in life, because sometimes for you to save towards what you want to do, it takes a little bit of time. So I just want to ask whether I'm not procrastination.
Well, what do you think, Abigail? Tell me, what do you think you're procrastinating, or you're genuinely preparing towards something?
I think I'm really preparing. That's how I think, but sometimes it takes a long time for me to achieve whatever I want to do. So I'm just asking whether it's a good thing, like starting halfway, then maybe continuing it till you finish, or starting it, waiting till you get whatever you want to, like, let me say, getting the finances before you start the whole thing.
Yes. So that's a great question, because there's always a balance to be struck between preparing and procrastinating, getting on with it and procrastinating. You have to draw that balance. Now, certainly if you need some money to start, I don't know, to go to college or to start the business, whatever, you need the money, and you need to put the money aside and for you to be able to start it. Some people, because they're putting the money away, procrastinate. They understand this is where maybe goal setting comes in, that I'm going to have the money by September, because college starts in September. So I'm going to have the money by August, because September I'm starting college. It takes away the procrastination. You understand? So if you're going to, you want the 5,000 to start that business or whatever, you're going to say, I'm going to try and I want to start that. And there's people who tell you, I want to do this by December. They'll do whatever it takes to have that money for that December. They've set their time, setting goals. You try and make it smart. They call it smart goals.
Smart,
time bound.
Smart goal, yeah.
Smart goals. Yeah, you try and make it time bound. That within this time, I will do this. And then you've got an accountability partner who is on your case. So you don't procrastinate. You don't,
oh, sorry.
Yeah, go.
Can I come? All right. Yes. I normally do that at the end of every year when it's like a new year resolution for me. I do put out things that I want to do, and I put time, like let me say a date to whatever I want to do. Yes. So I give myself like from January to March, I want to do this. So if I'm not able to accomplish what I want to do, I do put it in the next, I add it to the next one that I have, and I'll be doing it across both sides to see whether I can accomplish it. When it is not done, that's what I keep doing most of the time. And at the end of the year, I see that normally I'm behind schedule actually, because I'm not able to accomplish everything. So I just want to ask if it is a good thing.
I don't know, Abigail. I don't know whether a bit of yours is procrastination as well. I don't know what people think, because you said if you don't do it, then
I was going to say that maybe it would be important to check your progress, so that even though you've set the long-term goal that by December I should have finished, maybe you've set it in quarterly. So by March, you see where you are with your progress, whether you've saved enough, or whether it's a project, or whether you've been accepted in the union, whatever it is that you are doing.
Yeah.
So maybe if we check it bite-sized as we go along, then you know whether you are behind or ahead of schedule, and then you can do something about it.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Abigail, have you got a good friend who can hold you responsible?
I was just going to say accountability to something. That is also
that's very important in all areas of our life. If you're accountable to somebody, you will straighten up. Somebody who will hold you responsible. Somebody will say, no, this one, you haven't done it properly, or you said you're going to be. And I do have some, and they hold me. They hold me big time. When they said, no, Evelyn, you said you were going to talk to 2 people. That's what you told us. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So so Abigail, find somebody.
All right.
Somebody who will hold, and give the person the permission, hold me responsible. And then somebody who you will do that to as well. So it's reciprocal. It's not just one way.